Hello from the Yarn Closet in Tucson, Arizona. My name is Laura. I'm Yarn Closet AZ on Instagram, the Yarn Closet blog over on Patreon, where you can get free pattern downloads, crochet, knit, loom knit, what to do with the sock tube, and soon to be flat knitting. You know, it's summer, so we're on the summer schedule, and it's the summer of, we have 2 kids in homeschool the end of last year and now this upcoming school year. We are definitely going to homeschool both of them through Liberty University Online Academy. If you want a great homeschool, that's a great one. There is Bible. It is Christian based. So, you know, just know that. I love it because it's so easy to do. There are certain classes they do every day, and then, you know, they get like a project and they have certain components they have to complete and blah, blah, blah. But you don't have to do any FaceTime with other kids, where you can still have bullying. Some of my nieces have still experienced bullying in online school. It's much more subtle, but it's still there. My son is autistic. Granted, he's what they used to call high functioning or Asperger's. It works really well for him. So if we have a bad day, we have a bad day. We can just shut it down, move on. And I think it's going to be just fine for little Prudence. She's a bright little kid. She's had 2 years of pre-K, so she can do kindergarten online. And it is kindergarten. So it's more about her feeling a part of things, continuing her journey of reading and writing. This is the second time I've tried to do this. Prue is napping, and Connor's in his room with a headache. I have a headache. We both, about within 5 minutes of each other, got such bad headaches. I had to sit down. He literally kind of fell to his knees. There are really bad fires here in Tucson. I mean, not in the city where we live, but close enough, and we can see them, and we can smell the smoke and feel the debris, and they're evacuating certain parts of what we call the foothills and Mount Lemon. So it's a bit unnerving. Yesterday we had to bury Henry the hamster. He was 3 years old. So there's just been a lot of stuff going on here and in the world at large. I got a flat knitting bed. It's fabulous. I love it. One, because I can put my mom's quilt over it. 2, because I can use anywhere from a fingering weight to bulky. If I go bulky, I can only do about 75 stitches. If I go fingering to worsted, I can do 150. So I'm looking at buying a second one, because then you can combine them, so you can grow one of them to 200 stitches, and then you have a secondary one at 100 stitches. So that would be fabulously fun, because I have space right near me. I could put the second one, and then have 2 projects going. They are noisy. I would say not as noisy as the sock machine. I think most people are accustomed to that noise or have been exposed to it. I like it much better than my sock machine, much better, to the point that I'm already thinking about getting rid of it, which is crazy. And I had to put some eardrops in one of the cats. Only one of our cats has claws. We adopted both of them from a rescue, but I must say I like the one without claws better. Oops, I dropped some stitches. because I'm still manually, I'm manually binding off my ends of my pieces. And I made Chip a dog sweater because I just shaved him down really good. He's 9 years old next month. I'd never actually shaved him completely down to see what the top of his head looked like. And my haircuts are not the best, so I just decided to shave him down. It's been hot, it's been gross. It will not be happening again. He might not have as much of a poodle puff, and he might keep the shaved ears, but yeah. So I made him a dog sweater. I don't like the gauge at which I did this. That's supposed to be ribbing. These are supposed to be little dog footprints, dog prints. Then there's some ribbing here. I'm going to do hand ribbing in this color to get it a little bit more tight. I could have done it on the machine, I just didn't know what I was doing. I would have had to have sewn this second panel in just one side and then put it flat on the machine and done the ribbing and connected it. But I still like doing some of the handwork. I've made a purple poncho, some of the other small things you've seen. Here is a blue sweater. And today I cranked up the sleeves. It's going to be an above elbow sleeve, just a short sleeve. So I bound off the cuff edge. I'm not sure if I should seam it, then put my needles on this edge and then attach it. Because I could do like a 3-needle bind off. I could attach here and then or put a needle on here and then put a needle on there, do like a 3-needle bind off. That might be the way to go. I think I'm going to do it that way. So I like the fact that I can get stuff done faster. On the other hand, I'm not knitting as much each day. So I'm hand knitting a little bit here and there. I'm on the machine a couple hours to 3 or 4 hours a day. And that's helping the family. Because I feel a sense of accomplishment, so I don't feel like I have to be in my knitting, because I am a process knitter, but I'm also a product knitter. And that's okay. And so that's satisfying it, but I have more time for the kids right now. And that's good. That's good. I'm learning that there's going to be, I have a finishing table set up in my bedroom. I think I'm going to be doing panels of things and then hand finishing stuff during quiet times, because I don't want to run the machine when people are napping, which can be a lot during the day. If Prue naps for an hour and then my husband naps for 3, if they're not overlapping, or even if they are, that's a chunk. He usually sleeps in at least 3 hours later than I do, if not more. Oh, good, I hope that didn't interrupt. So then I'll have quiet things that I can do, although it's not like you're constantly just going back and forth, because if you were, you'd just be knitting stockinette. So I have a 3-inch stitch marker. I'm going to use this. 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 like I did those little paw prints in a kind of a lace motif. I have the ability to do intarsia and fair isle, so that's much slower. I can hand manipulate stitches like doing the ribbing. And I can do cables. I did cables on my purple thing. Like here are those, that ribbing. And that takes quite a while. And I'm learning how to read charts much better, where they always scared me before in the hand knitting. I think because the chart is flat, the knitting is flat, it's easier for me to translate. Would you call a woman who uses a sewing machine not a quilter? Okay, so don't call me not a knitter. It's not cheating. It may be faster in some regards, but not all. I certainly believe that there are some people, especially compared to me, that could hand knit something faster than I can even do it on this. Because I am still legally blind. I do still have different ways that I have to mark things. I have my big magnifying lamp right here. I have all different kinds of ways I'm learning to tactilely mark things. But like I said, it's a little bit easier for me to keep track of what's going on. And I like it. And since there is still the hand finishing, and there is still, like I could have knit those sleeves myself. I just wanted to learn how to do it on this. I think once I do learn things to a point where I'm really comfortable, I may start hand knitting more stuff. But once again, you've got to learn. People who have been asking me questions and stuff. Oh, how do I do this? I'm at home, I have all this time. Well, the reason that you're not getting it is because you chained 20 2 weeks ago and now you're picking it up again, but that's it. The reason that I can learn these things is because I prioritize learning them. Every day committing to do it and do it and do it. The day I got this, I did it. There have been a couple times I came to a point where it's like, I gotta stop because I'm just afraid to go that next step. That new thing is scary. But I think it through, and then a few hours later I'll try it, or the next day. And there have been a lot of mistakes already. And you just jump in and you fix them and you figure out what's going on. And you know that the first 3 things, the first dozen things, the first 2 dozen things may not be that quality that you want. But it's a hat that's in donation that will fit a child and looks cute on my daughter. It's a dog sweater that doesn't have to look perfect because, you know, the function is still there. And that's okay. And it's keeping the life in this hobby that I need for my own sanity because of the current situation. And I'm going to use that to segue into the current situation. I am from Minnesota. I lived in Minneapolis for a long time. I know some people, at one time I knew some people in the Minneapolis police. Friends, a girlfriend was going through the academy, so she had cop friends. I still don't think that I have much to add. Since I've become legally blind and I go out in my cane and stuff, I get treated dramatically different. So I get the frustration of feeling like you're never given a fair shot. At my son's school, I was treated dramatically different in a lot of avenues for many, many years. There are still people there that have known me for 10 years that are still uncomfortable around me. But if I wanted to, I could put my cane away, I could hold someone's arm, and I could go out and completely fake it. and not be treated that way. I don't have the luxury, or I have a luxury that a lot of people don't have. They can't put away the color of their skin. They can't put away their accent because they moved here from Africa or Poland or wherever. For those of us that are surviving this plague, for those of us that have a home and food, we should be very grateful. And I don't know why this current situation hasn't brought us closer, hasn't made us think more in kindness towards each other. The only bit I can add to this is the one thing that I try in my life to do, and maybe you think it's not enough. Look with your heart first. In all things, I try to look with my heart first. Before I speak in aggravation to my husband, I try to look with my heart first. Is this going to help our relationship? Do I need to just walk away? My kids have said I'm a much more fun parent since all of this started. But I think that's because the dynamic has shifted, and I have learned to just blow off a lot more of their stuff because there are no breaks. There are no, go spend an overnight at grandma's. We're just on each other all the time. And in that scenario, you just got to let a lot more go. And that in and of itself can be a kindness. Nobody owes me anything. But I owe everyone else on this earth common courtesy and kindness. Because that's what I want in return. So look with your heart first, and I hope you enjoy some of the upcoming machine knitting adventures. And I hope you're still enjoying your yarn.